Hey everybody, Duane Laflin here. I want to talk to you about marketing. This is the first of a series of videos that I plan to put out on a regular basis over coming weeks. This is lesson number 1. Most of you know that in my retirement I've taken to writing novels. I'm immensely enjoying doing that, and I'm learning a lot from it. As part of my research, part of my educating myself, I came across a critic who was a highly educated man. If I understand correctly, he had taught on the college level. He was criticizing the writer Agatha Christie. He was saying she was a bad writer, didn't like her technique, he thought her plots were ridiculous, and on he went, extremely negative about Agatha Christie. Well, Agatha Christie, if you are familiar with her work, she has sold over 1 billion books. She is the #1 best-selling writer in human history. The Bible outsells her. But apart from that, as far as novelist, she's the #1 best-selling novelist in history. And here's this college professor criticizing her and saying she doesn't know how to write. Well, I'm just learning how to write novels, but I drew a very simple conclusion. I would rather learn how to write like Agatha Christie wrote and sold 1 billion novels than I would write like this guy says people are supposed to write when I've never heard of him. And if he's written any books, I've never heard of them either. In other words, I'm going to listen to the people who are successfully doing what I want to do. And now that I have pursued the world of writing and educated myself, that's the choice I've made. And that is, the people I listen to are the people who are accomplishing what I want to accomplish. Now, the reason I'm saying this is when it comes to marketing, I am not going to be thought of as some great marketing expert. People who know me, I doubt that they would think that I'm some sort of whiz with marketing. I'm no master of websites and the digital world and so on. However, in my experience, I booked a lot of shows and I sold a lot of tickets. Mary and I had 3 different theatrical settings, theatrical situations, and we never once in any year lost money. Every year we ended in the profit margin. Some years, in the beginning years, maybe it wasn't a lot of profit, just enough to go to Texas Roadhouse and have a big meal. But if we were in that location very long, by the time several years went by, it was highly profitable. I ended up performing some very lucrative venues, and I had no problem getting enough shows to keep me in business and to feed my family with magic being our only income for decades. So what I'm saying is I'm no whiz in the terms of a highly educated expert on modern marketing techniques, but you can know that what I've done worked for me. It kept me in business for many, many years. So it's something that you can ponder. I think it's something that it's at least worth your consideration. So with that said, I want to explain to you the core of my thinking about marketing. It's a decision I made many, many years ago, and I labeled it by a simple expression: once is not enough. I made up my mind that I would do the kind of program that if people saw it once, they would want to see it again. If they booked me once, they would want to book me again. And not only would they want to book me again, but they would recommend to others, hey, we had Duane in our particular situation for our venue, and we certainly would suggest that you bring him in too. And in spite of all the things I did over the years to try to keep myself in business, when I look back over it, I will say that the #1 thing that kept me as busy as I was is I kept getting invited back again, and people would refer me to others. And when we were selling tickets for our theaters, people would come the first season and they would say, believe me, next time we come to town, we're going to come again. And they did. And when they came again, they brought friends. Their friends liked it. When their friends came back, their friends bought friends. Which brings me to this illustration. In the world of finances, you've maybe already seen this or heard about this. If not, you can look it up. But the question is, what would you rather have? 1 penny that every day doubles in amounts. In other words, day 1, it's 1 penny. Day 2, it's 2 pennies. Day 3, it's 4 pennies. Day 4, it's 8 pennies. Day 5, it's 16 pennies. Just 16 pennies, not dollars, just pennies. Day 6, it's 32 pennies, and so on. So would you rather have that, or would you rather have somebody give you $1,000 a day? So Day 1, you get $1,000. Day 2, you get another $1,000. Day 3, you get another $1,000, and so on. That goes on for a month. What would you rather have? Well, if you follow it through, by the end of the 3rd week, the person with pennies is starting to get a significant amount of money, but he's still way behind the person that's been getting $1,000 a day. But at the end of the 4th week, the person getting the pennies is millions of dollars ahead of the person who was getting $1,000 a day. And if you look it up, you'll understand how the math works. And the point of it is, multiplication always beats addition. So in terms of a program, what you want is not a situation where, you're always working with your website and your mailing list or whatever it is so you can get another program and then another program. What you really want is when you do one program, that turns into 2, and that turns into 4, and that turns into 8, because the people who see you want to see you again and tell others about you. So, in practical terms, this means we have to have a quality product. In future lessons, I will talk to you about how to attract attention, some of the things we did, because when you're starting, you got to get those first people there. Or when you're starting to get bookings, how do you do that? So I'll talk to you about that. But I'm also going to be particularly talking about this idea of the quality of your program and the things we can do to create that kind of experience for our customers where they want to have it more than once. So the takeaway from this simple lesson at the starting point is, before you get too worried about how you're going to market yourself and invest in all of these programs and things to sell more shows, make sure you have a show worth selling. In other words, start with your product. Make sure you've got a terrific product, a wonderful, high-quality product. And then once you have that, in some ways, the marketing takes care of itself, because all you have to do is have a few people see it who like it so much they tell other people to see it, and they tell others, and it goes from there. So there's a lot more to be said about this. We will say that in future lessons. This was lesson number 1 of Duane talking to you about marketing. Somebody recently said to me, Duane, you should charge for the things that you share. You should charge people to watch your videos. You should charge them to subscribe to the things that you present. And he went on to say, and he's a gospel magician, he says that he subscribes to this site or this feed, whatever it is, and just pays $4.95 a month to hear a guy review 2 magic tricks a month. And he feels like it's worth it to hear this guy review the tricks. And he mentioned there are other sites where people pay various amounts to follow the people or whatever. And he said, you should do that. And I said, no, I really want to share this. I really want it to be ministry. I want to give. And I especially want people who are new to gospel magic and don't have much resources to be able to take advantage of these ideas at no cost. And he was very gracious to understand that, but he also said that, on my part, it is an investment, and I need to consider the fact that sometimes it's difficult to keep giving and giving and giving when something isn't coming back to you that essentially replenishes you or revives you, strengthens you, renews you, so you can keep giving some more. It's best when it's a two-way street. And as a Christian, we give no matter what, but he said at least consider the fact that you should give people a chance to give back to you if they would like to do that. And I thought about that a lot, because it does take an investment on my part to create these videos. I prepare the videos, I shoot the videos, I prepare the material for them, and also I set aside time to do this that could be spent for other things that actually might have more to do with taking care of my family. So I thought about it all, and I came to this simple idea. If you watch my videos, you watch the thing or take advantage of things I share, and if you would like to bless me in return by way of, some sort of financial compensation, one way you can do it is simply by going to my website of my novels and buying one of my books. If you're not a reader, buy it to give it to somebody else. Buy a gift or whatever. Or if you're not a reader, but you listen to audio books, my books are available on audio. They're also available on ebook. But by doing that, you can give to me once in a while, just by purchasing one of my books, and I think you'll enjoy the book, so it'll be a blessing to you. But that is something that will come back to Mary and I, And it is one of the things I'm trying to do to help us in our retirement, and that is to write these novels and to have them sell. So take some time to look at my DuaneLaflin.com page. Take a look at some of the novels I have there. One's a series about an illusionist. I think you might especially enjoy that. I've got a series just started on biblical characters. More books will be coming out on that. But anyway, if you go to my site and now and then buy a book from me as a way of supporting me, as a way of saying thank you to what I do, that will be something that revives and renews me and makes it easier for me to keep creating the kind of material that I've created over the years and that I've shared at no charge. Because I am determined that what happens here on our Fellowship of Christian Illusionists site is going to continue to happen at no charge. It's free for you. I'll just share it. But if you want to share back with me, looking at my site and maybe picking up one of my books would be a great way to do it. That's it. That's our Fellowship of Christian Illusionists commercial. Bye-bye. I'm Duane Laflin.